For our 14.3 tasks, we are doing numbers 1 and 2. So we are making correct intervals and making tables and histograms. So a histogram is kind of like a bar graph. So I'm sure you've seen similar bar graphs, but it's not just one for each thing. It's saying it's when you have a very large amount of data and you don't want a bar for each of these, you can put them into groups. So a histogram is just a bar graph that has sections. These are called intervals. So here we have, a large number. Sometimes it's helpful to shrink it down for your scale so you're not having so many bars. So a Taekwondo school teaches many ages of students. So rather than making a column for the 9s and the 10s, 11s, 12s, all the way up to 28, that's a lot of bars. They just said, here's an age group, here's an age group. So the height of each bar, if we look up how high it goes, we're going up. If we look here, it's telling us what these numbers that go up are. They are the students, right? So the up numbers, how high they go, are telling us how many students are in that age group. You can find the total number of students that were included in the data by finding the value, right? So I need to go up. So if I find this blue one, I can see that it's 13. This red bar is 15. So once I find the value of each bar, if I want to know all of them together, right, I'm going to add them all together. Hey, this one asks, there are how many students from that are 25 to 28? So I'm looking at my bar that's 25 to 28. I'm seeing how high up it goes, which is to the 4. So we have 4 students that are in their 25 to 28 years old. The next one says there are how many students that are 19 to 16. So I'm going to come look at my 19. That was not what, 19. Okay, 9 to 16. I was like, that didn't seem right. 9 to 16. So we're starting here and we're ending here. So I have to put the red and the blue bars together. So the blue bar has 13 students. The red bar has 15. I want to know them together. We're going to add 13 and 15 to find the value for D. That will tell us 2 of those groups together, right? We're just finding their value, adding them together for 9 through 16. The age range of blank years old has the greatest number of students. So, right, number of students, right, that went up. So I'm looking for which one has the highest one is the 13 to 16-year-olds. That's right, the 13 to 16-year-olds is the one that goes up the highest. So F is the 13 to 16-year-olds. And hey, guess what? I know if you needed help and you were like, I watched the video, and all you did was put lines here, that you didn't actually watch the video or listen to the video. So be sure that you fill in the answers, because I said the answers if you were listening. I even color-coded them for you, people. Come on, help me out here. Okay, all right, and task number 2. So we just did a histogram. We grouped them up and said there's this many, this many, this many. Another way to organize data is a frequency table. So a frequency table lists the items together according to the number of times or frequency that the numbers occur. So we've got our salesperson handing out the samples. They gave out 7 1 hour, 12 another, 15 another. So the very first thing we want to do is we want to write these numbers in order. So I'm going to look for my smallest one. I can see 7 here. Looks like 7 is the smallest. So we're going to start with a 7. So I used my 7. I'm just going to erase these dots, and I'm going to like mark it somehow to say I used that. I'm done with it. So I'm done. Everything should have like a check mark, a dot, a circle around it. I wouldn't just scribble them out because you want to make sure you really got them. Okay, so now I don't see any more 7s. Okay, so now I'm looking for 8s, and it's maybe sometimes a good idea to leave a little bit of space in case you accidentally find one you missed. Okay, so here I see an 8, right? I could squeeze another number in there if I needed to. And here's another 8. Okay, go ahead and pause, and I want you to see if you can finish that up, going in order. Okay, so we finished writing the numbers in order. I put a dot on each one to make sure I used every number. If I get done and I see one without a dot, I need to go get that in the right spot. So the numbers go anywhere from 7 all the way up to 27. Now those aren't very nice numbers, 7 and 27. We want to start with things that are like common, 5s and 0s, 1. So instead of going from 7 to 27, we're just going to go from 1 to 30. We're going to make them nice numbers that we can cut into groups. 7 and 27, we're going to be really having odd, weird numbers in our groups. So this says we're going to make 6 intervals. Now, sometimes you get to choose the intervals. This one is telling us to use 6. Maybe sometimes like it's saying 5 is a good amount, 4. It just depends on the size, right? This puts about 5 in each one. So the thing you have to know about intervals is they have to be equal. If I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that was 5 numbers in that interval, then every interval has to have 5 numbers. So I can't have one that I'm like, oh, I'll do that one 1 through 5. And then I think I'll go like 6 through 11. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 6 numbers. That doesn't work. You have to make sure they all have the same amount of numbers between them. So if we come down here, it actually gets us started, right? So the first one, we're going to go 1 to 5. And then the second one is 6 through 10. So right, I'm just going to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That had 5 numbers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 also has 5 numbers. So every time I'm making one, we should have 5 in it. So after 10, we've got 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, next is 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 has 5. So I'm noticing a pattern here, right? This ends in 5, then 0, 5, then 0. This goes 1, 6, 1, 6. These patterns are important. So next we have 21. I'm going to let you finish that up. So in the 1 to 5 range, right, I can see I don't have any. So we had 0 of those. Okay, 6 to 10. Here is 7, 8, 9, 10s. I'm going to count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 of those. My next interval was 11 through 15, so I'm not looking for any numbers 11 through 15. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Okay, so you're going to finish these, right? These intervals match the ones we already made, and then you count how many numbers were in that section. So there's your frequency table, right? And then if I was making a histogram from this, right? So 1 through 5 has nothing. And then 6 through 10 had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd go up and over for that one. Then I have 11 through 15 has the same thing. So instead of telling how many 1s and 2s and 3s, I'm putting them into groups to make it easier for me and for the viewer to look at.